Thank you all for coming. So now we'll speak a little from Bhagavad Gita as it is until 4:30, and then we'll have some more singing. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 So I chose a verse from the 7th chapter. The chapter is called Knowledge of the Absolute. And we'll read text 15. So first I'll read the Sanskrit and then a translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Nandashkritina mudha prapatyante nanadama Mayaya pratyakana asuram bhavamashrita. Translation. Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, who are lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. So this is Krishna speaking, this is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. It is said in the Bhagavad Gita that simply by surrendering unto oneself, unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, one can surmount the stringent laws of material nature. At this point, a question arises: how is it that educated philosophers, scientists, businessmen, administrators, and all the leaders of the ordinary men do not surrender to the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, the all-powerful Personality of Godhead? Mukti, or liberation from the laws of material nature, is sought by the leaders of mankind in different ways, with great plans and perseverance, for a great many years and birth. But if that liberation is possible by simply surrendering unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then why don't these intelligent and hard-working leaders adopt this simple method? The Gita answers this question very frankly. Those really learned leaders of society like Brahma, Shiva, Kapila, and Kumaras, Manu, Vyasa, Devala, Asita, Janaka, Prahlad, Bali, and later on Madhva Acharya, Ramanuja Acharya, Sri Caitanya, and many others, who are faithful philosophers, politicians, educators, scientists, etc., surrender to the lotus feet of the Supreme Person, the all-powerful authority. Those who are not actually philosophers, scientists, educators, administrators, etc., but who pose themselves as such for material gain, do not accept the plan or path of the Supreme Lord. They have no idea of God. They simply manufacture their own worldly plans and consequently complicate the problems of material existence in their vain attempt to solve them. Because material energy, nature, is so powerful, it can resist the unauthorized plan of the atheist and baffle the knowledge of planning commissions. The atheistic plan makers are described herein by the word duskritina, or miscreants. Kriti means one who has performed meritorious work. The atheistic plan maker is sometimes very intelligent and meritorious also, because any gigantic plan, good or bad, must take intelligence to execute. But because the atheistic brain is improperly utilized in opposing the plan of the Supreme Lord, the atheistic plan maker is called duskriti, which indicates that his intelligence and efforts are misled. In the Gita, it is clearly mentioned that material energy works fully under the direction of the Supreme Lord. It has no independent authority. It works as the shadow moves in accordance with the movement of the objects. But still material energy is very powerful, and the atheist, due to his godless temperament, cannot know how it works. Nor can he know the plan of the Supreme Lord. Under the illusion and the modes of passion and ignorance, all his plans are baffled, as in the case of Hiranyakashipu and Ravana, whose plan was smashed to dust, although they were both materially learned as scientists, philosophers, administrators, and educators. These Duskritinnas, or miscreants, are of 4 different patterns as outlined below. And I think I'll stop reading here because otherwise maybe I will lose you, because there's quite a lengthy purport. So those of you who have Bhagavad Gita, you can read at home the rest of the purport. Very beautiful, Prabhupada describe how these 4 categories are actually unable to achieve the goal of life, of human life. So I'll read the verse for you again. Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, who are lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake to the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. When Krishna speaks about surrender, it's because now we are surrendered to the material energy. We are surrendered to what the Vedas, the scriptures, called Maya. Maya means that which is not. That means in one sense that what doesn't really exist. So this whole material energy we are part of and are situated in one sense, it does not exist. In another sense, it does exist because we are here. So it's mentioned that because it is temporary and because it is not our real home, we belong to the spiritual energy, the spiritual world. See, we are spiritual by nature because we are pure spirit soul. Veda says Aham Brahmasmi, meaning I am spirit. So we are all spirit, and the force that gives life to this matter, this machine, this yantra, we are situated within, is the soul. And we can see that when we see a dead person, that when the soul is no longer there, we bury even the person we adore and love the most, we bury them in the ground. Or we burn them. Because it is not the body we love, it's the person that gives life to the body. So in our search for happiness, in our search for the ultimate goal of life, most people are looking in the wrong direction. Because they don't understand this basic understanding. This is the basic understanding of all spiritual life, that we are pure spirit soul. Without this understanding, you cannot make any tangible process in any kind of spiritual atmosphere. Impossible. It's like if you want to make a huge calculation and you start up on the wrong point. First two numbers there are 2 plus 2 and you get 5. So if you get 5, the rest of the calculation will be wrong. So if you haven't been able to calculate or understand who you are, the rest of the calculation you make will definitely give you the wrong result. And that's why everyone is struggling in material existence. That's why everyone is unhappy. Because we are trying to find happiness in a world that is not actually not meant for that purpose. This world is not meant to facilitate our happiness. This world is actually meant for the opposite. And that's why we are constantly suffering. Everyone is suffering in this world. Gabriel, he just mentioned, I was traveling around in Denmark for some time, distributing these books. These books, of course, in Danish. And it's often because most of the people you ask, hey, would you like to have a book like this? It's not exactly how you present it, but when you give a book to a person, most people will say, anyone can guess? No. Yeah, no, but why no?
Don't need it.
Don't need it? Yeah, some will say I don't need it.
Afraid.
They are afraid. They are definitely afraid. They will not say that though, but they are definitely afraid. They are afraid. That's true. You know that. I have no time. I'm busy. So people are running so fast, right? We are living in a very, very stressed society, and people are running so fast. Why are they running fast? What is it they want to achieve? They want to enjoy matter. So we try. I actually often try to tell them it's impossible. You won't succeed. But they say, of course I will. I just need to get this in place, and this in place, and this in place, and when that is there, then everything will be fine. And then happiness is just around the corner. But that's not how it works. Because if it did, then at least there was someone here in this place that was in the material world and was happy. And that's not. Not real happiness. Some are worse off than others, but everyone is suffering in this world. This is Krishna's a statement. It says, Namam duskritino mudam, it says here. Everyone in this world are duskritinas. Everyone is rascals. Because they haven't understood where should the food be given. So if you give the food to the mouth, you are doing the right thing. But if you give the food to the ear or to the eye, you are doing the wrong thing. So if we are trying to find happiness in a place where it's impossible to find, it's like applying food to the ear. But if you give the food to the mouth, the mouth will give it to the stomach, and the stomach will distribute it to the whole body. And then you get nourishment and satisfaction. So if we try to give independently to all kind of other sources of the body, that will not give the required result. So when we give the food to the source of everything, if we give our dedication, as Krishna says here, if we surrender, instead of surrendering to the material energy, we surrender to the spiritual energy. We surrender to the Lord, to Krishna. So surrender is a very negative word, isn't it? Hey, I surrender, okay, give up. Very like normally you say, oh, he lost, he surrendered. But in a spiritual sense, it's a beautiful word. It's a beautiful activity. Because what you're saying is, I've been trying now for millions of lifetimes. I've been trying to enjoy the material energy. I've been trying to enjoy it independently from you, my Lord. But now I surrender. Now I give up. Now I understand that I was wrong. I was trying in all kinds of ways, and we all have, and we still are trying. So I've been trying for so many lifetimes to squeeze out a little happiness. And I always end up frustrated. So now I will try to use another method. Now I'll try to listen. And we start listening from the right authority, from the right person, from the person in knowledge. And then all our problems are solved in one go. Krishna says, Bhuktanam yakyatava samsarva lokamaheshwaram suridaksarva bhutanam gyatva mam santyam lichyate. They want to understand that Krishna is the enjoyer. I'm not actually the enjoyer. But in another sense, we are the enjoyers. But we are only the enjoyer if you understand how to enjoy. You can follow? If we try to enjoy, but it brings us suffering, then we are not the enjoyer, then we are the sufferer. But if we enjoy in the right way, in the way Krishna tells us to enjoy, then we can enjoy. So that's the very, very easy change we need to make in our life. That we need to understand that if I give the water to the root of the tree, the whole tree is nourished. But if I try to water every single leaf and branch, the tree will dry up and die. So if we are trying to give water here and give water there, we will not get the required result. But if we give the water, if we give our love, if we give our surrender to the root of everything, to the Lord, then automatically the result is there. So why is it people are not just doing this? Prabhupada is saying this here in the purport. It's just in the beginning, remember? Prabhupada was saying, so read it. It is said in Bhagavad Gita that simply by surrendering oneself unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can surmount the stringent laws of material nature. At this point, a question arises. How is it that educated philosophers, scientists, businessmen, administrators, and all the leaders of ordinary men do not surrender to the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, the all-powerful Personality of Godhead? Why is that? If that is the solution to all the problems that are there in the world, why don't we? This is a very, very good question. Maybe some of you can remember the answer. So why is it? Okay.
Because they're rascals?
They're rascals, yes. They are surrendering to the wrong energy. They're surrendering to the material energy instead of the spiritual energy. And Prabhupada would often categorize that as rascal. As a person who does not know what is good for him and others. Because it's not only about us. We, all of you, are here for purpose. We are all here for a purpose. It's not just circumstance or just chance that we are here. We are all here for purpose. That purpose is to make a change. That's what we're here for. We should make a change. We should matter. If we are just here for some time, create some trouble, and that's definitely what most of us are doing, just create some trouble, exploit Mother Nature, exploit other people, and then go away, die, leave, then what will happen? We'll get a new chance. But then because we were exploited, then we will get better karma than we have now, worse karma. Now we have bad karma. And that's everything in the material, everyone in the material world. Now we have bad karma. But we are constantly making it worse and worse and worse. So that means worse and worse condition for ourselves. Worse and worse suffering. So the only thing we need to change, we can do it in one go by simply listening to Krishna when he says here, those 4 people or persons who do not surrender, they are dushkritas. They're rascals. They're miscreants. So what are these 4 kind of persons who will not surrender, who are not intelligent? Even though they are materialistic intelligence, as Prabhupada says here in the purport, even a materialistic plan, even an evil plan, takes intelligence to execute. So Krishna is giving intelligence even to the evil people. Even to the worst materialists. Prabhupada mentioned here Hiranyakashipu and Ravana, thank you. Hiranyakashipu and Ravana he mentioned here. Very evil persons, right? Hitler looked like a Boy Scout. So he says even they, very, very intelligent, very, very evil, but they could not fulfill the plan. So what is our chance? So these 4 persons, or these 4 categories, are mutas. Mutas are the first. So mutas are foolish people. A fool. And Prabhupada, again, we didn't have time to read the purport, but Prabhupada says there that it's just like an ass. Like an ass, like a donkey. Beast of burden. Sometimes maybe I see some from India here. So sometimes when you see in India, you see a donkey with such a load on its back. It's carrying this load all day. Even some of you might have seen this picture. There's even a little cart behind this donkey, and this cart is completely filled with all kind of utensils. So it's so heavy that the cart goes down and the donkey is hanging there in the air. So they are working hard all day. Why are they working hard? Because they know at the end of the day they will get a little food. What do the donkey eat? Most likely grass. Grass is available practically everywhere. It can just go in a field and eat grass, but it doesn't have that intelligence. You say, oh, when I work hard all day, the master, he will give me some grass to eat. How fortunate I am. So I will work all day, I will carry this load, and then I will get a little grass. My dear friends, you are doing the same for the grass of money. Money is available everywhere. Enjoyment is, because money is enjoyment, isn't it? That's why we want money. We want facilities, we want to eat, we want to enjoy. So they are available everywhere, if we're living in the right way. This is yoga kshemam vaham yaham. I carry what the devotee lack, I carry it for him, and I preserve what he has. I take care of him. He doesn't, ma shujyaha, do not need to worry. You don't need to worry, because I will take care. That's what Krishna claims. That's what he promises in Bhagavad Gita. So it says, just become my devotee. Manmana bhava matbhakto matyadi mam namaskuram. Mameva syasti satyam se pratijani priyo sima. And if you do, you become priya, you become very dear to me. And when we are dear to the Lord, of course He will take care. He loves us. So if we simply understand that instead of surrendering to Maya, that will constantly give us problems, we're surrendering to Krishna. Surrender to Krishna means follow his instructions. Listen, hear. Tachinu. Krishna says, listen, hear from me. I'll tell you how to achieve the ultimate goal of life. I'll tell you how to attain happiness. I'll tell you how you will attain everything you ever wanted in life. Just by doing this one thing, following this one process. Simply surrendering. And it's a sweet surrender, as we mentioned before. It's surrender as a child. A child is completely surrendered to his mother and father. Completely surrendered. The child will die without his own parents. That's surrender. We would die without the Lord protecting us at all moments, constantly. We would die. We are only here. You're only breathing right now because the Lord facilitates. You could not even breathe. You could not digest your food. Nothing. So the only thing we need to do, what surrender actually means, is to show gratitude. Thank you, Krishna, because you allow me to give me air for breathing. Thank you for giving me the power to digest my food. Thank you for giving me the ability to work and be active. Krishna says, I'm the ability in man. Thank you for giving me all these gifts. Thank you for the sun was rising this morning, even though we don't see it here. Thank you for all these gifts you're given. Immediately we start that process, we see our life change immediately. We see that all of a sudden things are just coming. And it's not necessarily money, but we'll be taken care of. We will have the inner peace. And when we have the inner peace, the external circumstances are no longer so important. So these mudhas, they're just like asses working hard all day just to give me money. Not thinking about what is really the purpose of the human form of life. What is the difference between me and a donkey? Besides, they have 4 legs, I have 2. There should be some more clear consciousness, some higher intelligence. And that's actually my realization from being in the streets. That most people, sorry to say, do not have more intelligence than a donkey. When they say, I have no time, I often just for the fun of it, I ask people, but don't you want to be happy? 99% of all people say, I am. Do you know how many people in Denmark are eating these so-called happy pills? 600,000. Calculate that into 5.5 million people. And then there's all the people drinking huge amount of alcohol just to survive. Taking hard form of drugs. Terrible. Everyone is suffering. Some admit, some don't. Prabhupada says there's 2 kinds of happy people. The transcendentalist, that means the person in Krishna consciousness, he'll automatically become happy. Because he's doing Dharma, he's doing what the nature of the soul. So he'll be happy on the level of the soul. And then there's the complete fool, in complete ignorance. When you're complete in ignorance, you think, I am happy. But if you ask the donkey carrying the load of burden all day, he'll say, if he could speak, he would say, I'm happy. I get some grass every evening. That's life. And Prabhupada mentioned here also, at night time, he gets some little sex at the chance of being beaten or kicked by the opposite party. So most likely that what happens when asses have sex. So then the donkey, she kicks the male donkey. So then he's beaten all the while. And then next morning he wakes up and he goes out and, now I'll go to work. Now I'll go and earn my money, my grass. And he comes home, eat a little grass, go to bed with his wife, have a little fun, go to sleep, wake up next morning, go to work. This is as life. This is what most human beings are doing. That's why Bhagavad Gita called them mudhas.